healthy gut microbiome, we're most likely going to have a healthy peritoneal microbiome, and that is what our eggs and our uterus, that's where they hang out, our ovaries, and then hence the eggs, are bathed in this fluid, so we want them to be in a healthy environment. Interestingly enough, gut health is very important to conception, but a healthy pregnancy and a healthy child. We're learning more and more about how gut health and the microbiome affects potentially fertility and getting pregnant and staying pregnant. We are seeing more and more studies that indicate the flora in our gut affects the flora in our peritoneal fluid. So the microorganisms that naturally live in our digestive system, there's also microorganisms that live in our peritoneal fluid, and that is in the area where our ovaries and uterus are. So basically our ovaries and uterus are being bathed in this peritoneal fluid, and interestingly enough, the peritoneal fluid seems to take on similar organisms and shapes, so to speak, of the microbiome of the gut. If we have a healthy gut microbiome, we're most likely going to have a healthy peritoneal microbiome, and that is what our eggs and our uterus, that's where they hang out, our ovaries, and then hence the eggs, are bathed in this fluid, so we want them to be in a healthy environment. So that's one reason gut health is so important. Another reason why gut health is important is it actually, the gut is where we either absorb excess estrogen or we help eliminate it. So when we need our healthy microbiome to do that, and if not, a person can technically absorb more estrogen than we need and then get off balance. So we want estrogen and progesterone in a nice balance for health and fertility and a healthy baby. The gut microbiome does play a role in our hormones, and if we have a healthy microbiome, we're more likely to have balanced hormones. If we don't get rid of the estrogen, excess estrogen, and we reabsorb it, we're going to have a higher estrogen level. So it's really important that we do have a healthy gut to maintain healthy hormone levels. It's a really good question. How do we know if we have gut issues? Well, a lot of people do have GI symptoms. It might be gas, bloating, nausea, diarrhea, constipation, cramping, a myriad of problems, intestinal type problems. But then there are also those people who have different symptoms. Gut issues can actually present as environmental allergy, so postnasal drip. It can present as overall inflammation in our bodies, but sometimes people feel achiness in their joints. So not just one joint that maybe you injured playing volleyball in high school or something, not that type of joint pain, but just the overall aches and pains in multiple joints that could possibly indicate a GI issue as well. There's so many things we can do to optimize our digestive system, our intestines, our gut, so to speak, to optimize the microbiome. And to start with, I think stress is a huge piece that can negatively affect our microbiome, interestingly enough. So finding something, I like to say stress resilience, helping your body be resilient to stress, because we're always going to have stress in our daily lives, absolutely. But finding some way to help our body go from that sympathetic state to a more relaxed parasympathetic state a couple times a day is ideal. So whether it be meditation, yoga, deep breathing, walking outside, all fantastic ways to help get our bodies in a more parasympathetic, relaxed state. Another way is good sleep is super important to our digestive system, to so many of our systems, but for our gut health as well. And we also want to avoid quite a few things. We want to avoid toxins that can disrupt our gut microbiome. It can disrupt our hormones as well. So we want to avoid toxins as much as possible. We can look to clean out our houses, from our beauty products to our cleaning products to our self-care products. There's so many products that could contain toxins that are harmful to our gut and to our hormones. We also want to look at avoiding ibuprofen as much as possible, because interestingly enough, that can have a pretty severe negative effect to our gut and its microbiome. And we also want to look at eating. Our diet absolutely affects our gut microbiome tremendously. So we want to stay away from processed foods. We want to eat the rainbow organic as much as possible, because then we're avoiding pesticides and toxins that could negatively affect our gut microbiome. Antioxidants are wonderful because they're going to help the repair system of our gut microbiome. We have good nutrition as much as possible. Alcohol can negatively affect our microbiome. So really being mindful of what we eat, and that it will affect our gut health, and that could potentially affect our fertility. If you'd like to learn more, please like and subscribe to my channel.